A very good morning and welcome to News at 10 on Rajya Sabha Television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Let us begin the bulletin with the headlines. Post-demonetization, World Bank drops India's growth rate to 7% from its previous estimate of 7.6% in 2017, but asserts country would regain momentum in the following years. RBI says it recommended the scrapping of notes on 8th of November after a prod from the centre. Central Bank's 7-page response sent to Parliament's Standing Committee on Finance. Barack Obama returns to his hometown Chicago to give his presidential farewell speech, defends legacy and warns Americans to defend democracy. Also says he's committed to a peaceful transition of power. And more than 50 people killed as a deadly attacks rip across Afghanistan. Suicide bombings near Afghan parliament in Kabul. 2 other explosions at Kandahar and Helmand provinces. Taliban claims responsibility for the attacks. Well, a top story this morning. The World Bank has lowered India's growth forecast for 2017 from 7% to 7% from 7.6% estimated earlier, attributing it partly to demonetization of high-value currency notes. Now, according to the World Bank, the immediate withdrawal of a large volume of currency in circulation and subsequent replacement with new notes announced by the government in November contributed to slowing of growth in 2016. However, the World Bank asserted that India would regain momentum in the following years with an estimated 7.6 and 7.8% growth, and is still predicted to be the fastest growing emerging market economies of the world ahead of China. Well, in its latest report released on Tuesday, World Bank projected global growth of 2.7% for this year after a low of 2.3% in 2016. On to our other top story. Well, RBI has admitted that it was the government which had advised the central bank to junk old 500 and 1,000 rupee notes. But in a 7-page note to the Parliament's department-related Committee of Finance, the RBI stated that it was the government that had, on 7th of November last year, advised that the bank may consider withdrawal of the legal tender status of the notes in high denomination of 500 and 1,000 rupees to mitigate the triple problems of counterfeiting, terrorist financing and black money. Well, just a day later, that is on 8th of November, the RBI board reviewed the proposal. The Union Cabinet met within hours of that recommendation and banned the circulation of 500 and 1,000 rupee notes. Earlier, the government had claimed that it was the RBI which had suggested implementing demonetization. Speaking in the Rajya Sabha on 16th of November last year, the Union Power Minister Piyush Goyal had said that the RBI runs the nation's monetary policy and that the demonetization decision was taken by the RBI board. An income tax department officials claim that about 3 to 4 lakh crore of evaded income has been deposited into banks. Well, the deposits are being looked at as a result of a demonetization of old 500 and 1,000 rupee notes by the government. Over 60 lakh individual bank accounts saw a sum of more than 2 lakh rupees deposited since 9th of November. Also under scrutiny is over 10,700 crore rupees in cash that was deposited in different banks' accounts in northeastern states since 9th of November. Enforcement Directorate officials are also examining deposits of over 16,000 crore rupees in cooperative bank accounts. Now, the IT department claims that large sums of money had been deposited in these banks without documentation. Well, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi will preside over the day-long Jan Vedna convention today to highlight the anti-poor and anti-public policies of the Modi government in the wake of demonetization. Well, the convention is likely to be addressed by former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh and other senior Congress leaders and will set the tone of the party's campaign for the upcoming state elections. Well, all top leaders of the party, including Congress Working Committee members, AICC delegates, Pradesh Congress Committee chiefs, all party MPs and MLAs will attend the Sammelan. However, it is still unclear whether Congress President Sonia Gandhi will attend the convention. Well, demands for the elevation of Rahul Gandhi, who has of late assumed the leadership role in the absence of Sonia Gandhi due to her ill health, may also crop up during the day-long event.
नेता अपनी बात रखेंगे, वर्किंग कमेटी के मेंबर्स वहां पे मौजूद रहेंगे। देश के कोने कोने से चुनिंदा कांग्रेसी कार्यकर्ता इसमें हिस्सा लेंगे। जो देशवासी इस नोटबंदी की वजह से कतारों में खड़े थे और जिनके देहांत हुए हैं, जिनकी मृत्यु हुए हैं, उनको श्रद्धा सुमन समर्पित करता हुआ प्रस्ताव पारित किया जाएगा।
Well, to get more details, let's go across to my colleague Vishal Daya, who's joining us on the phone line. Vishal, now Congress party is looking to turn demonetization into a major issue, especially in the upcoming polls. And what else is likely to transpire in the course of the Congress meeting today? Who all are attending this meeting, and is Congress President Sonia Gandhi also attending?
Well, this is a particular event which is being held by the Congress party with a specific aim to ensure that these issues, specifically the issue of demonetization, can be put on the biggest stage, largest stage, and they can push it towards the assembly elections, which are going to be held in 5 states in few weeks from now. And clearly, the name of the event which has been given by the Congress party is an indication that it is, upping the entry against the NDA government at the center. The party has termed this event as a Jan Nivedana event, a clear indication that the center stage of this entire one-day saga will be the issue of demonetization, although there will be, speeches by several Congress leaders, including former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi, who will make the inaugural as well as the concluding address. And the focus will be on demonetization, but all these leaders will also be talking about what the Congress party believes are the shortcomings of 2.5 years of NDA rule. As far as Congress President's participation is concerned, we are being told by sources as of now that there is no such plan for Congress President to be here in this event. This event will be carried forward entirely by the Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi, and this will be another, one step further in Rahul Gandhi taking on the mantle of the Congress party, because in the last 1.5 to 2 months, we have seen how the Congress Vice President has been in the driving seat in the party as far as taking decisions on the party's strategy on demonetization and other issues, as well as assembly elections are concerned.
Vishal, you just mentioned that there are all signs that Rahul Gandhi is going to take over as the president of the party sooner than later. But is there an indication of when that could likely happen? Is there an indication that that issue might also be discussed in this convention?
Well, no, plans of discussing his elevation in this particular session, although given the fact that this is a gathering of the Congress party workers and leaders, there might be, some leaders who might express their wish for Rahul Gandhi to take over the Congress party in their respective speeches. But officially, there is no such plan. There will be 2 resolutions which will be passed by the party, and both of them will pertain to demonetization and several other issues relating to the NDA government's failure at the center. But Rahul Gandhi taking over Congress party, well, this is something which has been in the realm of speculation for quite some time. There have been several days which have been speculated about and which have passed. But, Rahul Gandhi taking charge of this particular event, as well as being in the driver's seat for the last 1.5 months, is seen as a precursor to the final decision, which is likely to be taken by the party top brass, indicatively the Congress President as well as the Vice President Rahul Gandhi himself. So that is something which might happen after the assembly polls, but as of now, he remains in the driver's seat, though, as the Vice President of the party.
All right, Vishala, thank you so much for those details there. So the Congress party convention coming ahead of the assembly polls in 5 states. So that is going to be a very important for the party. Meanwhile, let's move on in the bulletin. The 8th edition of the Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit 2017 was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Ahmedabad on Tuesday. The Reliance Industries Chairman Mukesh Ambani and Interim Chairman of the Tata Group Ratan Tata were among the other dignitaries who were present. Well, the event was held on a mega scale with many heads of state, top global and Indian CEOs and several business houses participating. Well, the state government expects to receive investment proposals of more than 25 lakh crore rupees at this year's summit. Now, 12 nations are partner countries for the event, including the US, the UK, Australia, Japan and the UAE.
Our biggest strength is the depth of our democracy. Some people say that democracy cannot deliver effective and fast-track governance. But we have seen in the last 2.5 years that it is possible to deliver quick results in a democratic setup as well. Ours is a nation of a vibrant youth. The disciplined, dedicated, and talented youth of India offers a globally unmatched workforce. We are the second largest English-speaking country. Our youth are not merely looking for jobs. They have begun taking risks and often prefer to become entrepreneurs.
And the events that are lined up for the day, let's take a look in the day ahead. A delegation of AIADMK MPs will meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi today to submit a petition asking for Jallikattu to be allowed during Pongal in Tamil Nadu. The move comes after Tamil Nadu Chief Minister O. Selvam wrote a letter to the Prime Minister urging him to promulgate an ordinance to resume the sport on Pongal this year with a view of animal welfare. Remember, the Supreme Court had in May 2014 banned the bullfighting sport. The Supreme Court will hear a plea seeking quashing of a provision of the Income Tax Act on a tax exemption to political parties on receiving voluntary contributions. In his plea, the petitioner has also challenged the Representation of the People's Act that provides for the actual conduct of the elections in the country. The Act also deals with the qualification and disqualification of members of both houses of Parliament. The Supreme Court will also hear a plea filed by a SBI-led consortium of 17 banks against businessman Vijay Mallya for the recovery of more than 9,000 crore rupees from him. The banks have approached the apex court seeking its intervention in bringing back Mallya to India and also repayment of money which the beleaguered businessman had taken. Vijay Mallya is now absconding. Well, time for a very short break. We'll be back with more news. Stay with us.
You are still not seen as a heavyweight politician of the BJP.
I cannot be as effective as those people who have got 50 members or 30 members.
If you're not loud, you are not heard inside the assembly, you are not heard by the people.
Simply by shouting, the point is not driven home. The purpose or the reasoning, that is important.
People have already started saying that the party has not given you your due.
We have to bring in the younger people. The elder people will play their role.
Watch To The Point with the sole BJP legislator in Kerala Assembly, O. Raja Gopal, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Gyan Chopper is the ancient version of Indian snakes and ladders. This intriguing game was popular among the old, the young, and the rulers as well. The chopper has its origin in the Jain philosophy. It tells the story of virtue, symbolized by the ladders, rewarded, while the vices shown by the snakes are punished. Each square, in turn, also narrates some message of wisdom.
Welcome back after the break. Now, cold wave conditions continue to intensify in North India. Heavy fog at various places is affecting the train movement in the northwestern region as well. Now, in Jammu and Kashmir, the cold wave continued across the Kashmir region with heavy snow accumulation reported from higher mountain ranges. And water supply has been affected. Well, the Met Department has predicted light rain or snowfall at isolated places in the valley and elsewhere in the state. Meanwhile, in Himachal Pradesh also, the cold wave conditions are continuing unabated as the minimum temperatures have stayed below normal at most of the places. Especially the people in tribal districts and other higher hills are reeling really under the shivering cold weather conditions. The weather remained dry in the state, but Kelong and Salungni recorded 1 and 3 centimeters of fresh snow. The Met Department has predicted a light snowfall and rain at few places for the next 24 hours. Even in the capital Shimla, several areas remained without power for the fifth day, while the water supply, however, has restored partially. Meanwhile, the national capital witnessed chilly and strong breezy conditions on Tuesday as the mercury plummeted to 5.2 degrees Celsius, making it the coldest day of the season so far. However, the Met Department has forecast mainly clear skies for today with mist and shallow fog in the morning. While in Rajasthan, the temperature recorded below the normal with 2 to 3 degrees Celsius below normal. Heavy fog at various places affected train movement in the northwestern region as well. Now look at what all is making news across the country. Let's take a look in nationwide. The Election Commission on Tuesday warned political parties that it will not remain a silent spectator and will undertake stern steps if the model code of conduct for poll laws are violated by them during the forthcoming assembly elections in 5 states. In a strong letter, the Commission said that peace and tranquility during the poll process is absolutely essential for free and peaceful conduct of elections in the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday asked Denmark to extend full support in the extradition of Purulia arms drop case accused Kim Devi, taking into account India's sensitivities. Well, the matter was raised by Prime Minister Modi at the vibrant Gujarat summit. Remember, Kim Devi is an accused in the 21-year-old Purulia arm drop case. 51 fishermen from Tamil Nadu were released by Sri Lanka on a Tuesday evening. The fishermen were brought to Karaikala port by the Indian Coast Guard. The fishermen were released as per the decisions made in a joint working group meeting held in Colombo last week. Earlier, the fishermen were handed over to the Indian Coast Guard by the Sri Lankan Navy at the International Maritime Boundary Line. And in the latest from poll-bound states, well, the nomination process in Goa and Punjab will begin today with the notifications being issued now. Well, while the last day to file a nomination is the 18th of January, candidates can withdraw their nominations by 21st of January. Remember, 40 constituencies in Goa and 117 constituencies in Punjab will vote in a single phase on 4th of February. Meanwhile, news from Punjab, well, trying to make inroads in Goa and Punjab, Delhi's Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia triggered a political buzz by indicating that AAP convener Arvind Kejriwal may be the party's chief ministerial candidate in Punjab. Now, Sisodia's statement triggered a speculation in political circles as to whether Kejriwal was planning to shift to Punjab and quit Delhi. Now, Sisodia told voters in Mohali to cast their votes, assuming that Kejriwal was the chief ministerial candidate, and asked them to vote for him. The Aam Aadmi Party that won 4 Lok Sabha seats in 2014 Lok Sabha elections was seen as a major alternative force to Congress and Akali Dal for the voters. Kejriwal had earlier ruled out contesting elections from Punjab. Remember, the assembly elections 417 seats will be held in a single phase on 4th of February here, and the results of the elections will be announced on 11th of March.
मान के वोट करें कि अरविंद केजरीवाल को मुख्यमंत्री बनाने के लिए वोट दे रहे हैं। मैं इसलिए कहा कि जो भी वादे पूरे कर रहे हैं, अरविंद केजरीवाल ऐसे नहीं भागेंगे। पंजाब के लिए जो वादे करें वो पूरे करवाएंगे। एक आदमी मुख्यमंत्री बनेगा, आम आदमी मुख्यमंत्री बनेगा। पंजाब का मुख्यमंत्री ऐसा होगा जो नशा नहीं फैलाएगा।
News from the poll-bound state of Uttar Pradesh now. Well, the Election Commission has asked both the factions of the Samajwadi Party to appear before it on 13th of January. Well, it will hear arguments from both the sides before deciding on who gets the cycle symbol of the party. Well, Mulayam Singh has already told the media that the party stands united for the benefit of the state. He also asserted that the party will soon begin the campaign and that Akhilesh Yadav will be the next chief minister. Meanwhile, Akhilesh also met his father Mulayam at his residence in Lucknow on Tuesday, indicating a movement towards a patch-up within the Samajwadi Party. Well, this meeting lasted for about 90 minutes. And my colleague Kriti Mishra, in fact, spoke to BJP leader Kalraj Mishra about his party's prospects in the upcoming assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh. Now, when asked about whether the BJP would gain anything from the Samajwadi Party's internal crisis, he said that his party was focusing only on ensuring its victory under Narendra Modi's leadership.
देखिए, हम तो अपना काम कर रहे हैं और आम जनता तक हम पहुंचकर भारतीय जनता पार्टी क्या कर रही है, गरीबों के लिए, आम लोगों के लिए हमने कौन से कार्यक्रम अपनाए हैं, ये सारी चीज़ें हम लोगों के बीच में जाकर बता रहे हैं। बूथ स्तर पर कमेटियों के माध्यम से बता रहे हैं, परिवर्तन यात्राओं के माध्यम से बता रहे हैं। 2 करोड़ से ज़्यादा लोगों से संवाद हुआ है और इसलिए मैं उसमें विश्वास रखते हुए सकारात्मक दृष्टि से हम आगे बढ़ते जा रहे हैं। इससे हमारा तो स्वयं में फायदा होता जा रहा है। ये पार्टियां जो अंतर्कलह के कारण टूट रही हैं, तो जनता के मन के अंदर और विश्वसनीयता बढ़ती जा रही है कि केवल भारतीय जनता पार्टी एक ऐसी पार्टी है जिसके माध्यम से प्रदेश को, हम उत्तर प्रदेश को उत्तम प्रदेश बना सकते हैं और इसे स्वाभाविक रूप से हमारे साथ लोग जुड़ेंगे। जनता हमारे लिए डेडिकेटेड वोट बैंक के रूप में है। जनता हमें पूर्ण समर्थन दे रही है। हमें पूरा विश्वास है कि जात, बिरादरी, पंथ, मजहब इसकी बात छोड़कर जनता पूरे विश्वास के साथ प्रधानमंत्री जी मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में भारतीय जनता पार्टी को विजयी बनाना चाहती है और भारतीय जनता पार्टी विजयी हो जाने के पश्चात उत्तर प्रदेश को और व्यवस्थित करने की दिशा में अपने कार्यक्रमों के माध्यम से काम करेगी।
And the Election Commission has asked officials in the 5 poll-bound states to either cover up or remove photographs of political leaders on all hoardings and advertisements. It said that hoarders and advertisements that seek to project the achievements of any living political functionary or any political party should be removed immediately. However, it made it clear that the government hoarding that convey a general message to the masses on family planning or social welfare schemes may be allowed to be displayed. Well, the poll panel also said that no political party or functionary can use the public resources and incur or authorize expenditure from the public exchequer to promote any political party leader's image. It claimed that such images or hoardings undoubtedly amount to their individual or party election campaign at a public cost. Remember, 5 states are going to polls between 4th of February and 8th of March. They include Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab, Goa and Manipur. And the Model Code of Conduct came into force from 4th of January when the schedule for the elections was announced. On to some international news now. Well, US President Barack Obama said goodbye to the nation, declared during his farewell address that he had not abandoned his vision of progressive change. As he spoke before a rowdy crowd of supporters, Obama was interrupted often with the screams of "I love you, Obama," and Obama sought to in fact, corral his crowd listening to the accomplishments of the last 8 years, ranging from healthcare to marriage equality, while insisting that his work is not finished. He recognized his successor Donald Trump, saying that he was committed to a peaceful transition of power, but he warned that going forward, Democrats should not fall in line with their commander-in-chief. Obama, who has addressed a race with varying degrees of force during his time in office, also used his farewell to insist that Americans work harder to understand each other's struggles. He warned that law alone won't be enough in resolving persistent differences between Americans.
Yes, our progress has been uneven. The work of democracy has always been hard. It's always been contentious. Sometimes it's been bloody. The future should be ours. But that potential will only be realized if our democracy works. Only if our politics better reflects the decency of our people. Only if all of us, regardless of party affiliation or particular interests, help restore the sense of common purpose that we so badly need right now.
And close to 50 people have been killed in a series of militant attacks throughout Afghanistan. Well, up to 30 people were killed and 80 wounded in twin bombings near the parliament in the capital, Kabul, on Tuesday. Well, the blasts took place during rush hour as the staff were leaving the parliament complex. Well, the Taliban said that they were responsible for the twin bomb attacks. Meanwhile, blasts at Governor's Guest House in Kandahar also killed at least 11 and injured 14 people, including the UAE ambassador. The ambassador and the other dignitaries were attending a dinner party when the attack happened. Earlier in Helmand province also, a Taliban suicide bomber targeted a guest house used by an intelligence official, killing at least 7 people there. Now, President Ashraf Ghani vowed that all those behind the criminal attacks would be caught.
تعقیب زومتربند در جاده عمومی سرک دارالامان با وقوع پیوسته که باعث ایجاد تلفات شهید و مجروحین داریم. از اکثر شهدا و مجروحین افراد ملکی هستند. تحقیقات
خودم مصروف کار بودم دیگه، از بس که یک آواز خطرناک بود پرود کردم در زمین دیگه. چرا هزارم همینجا چرا تیر شد، بسیار چرا بود، همین طرف چرا بارک بود، بسیار وضعیت خراب بود.
On to some cricket news now. Well, England on Tuesday made a promising start to their limited overs tour as they defeated India A by 3 wickets in the first warm-up game in Mumbai. Well, the second warm-up game will be played today, in which India A side will be led by Ajinkya Rahane. Now, India A posted a 304 for 5, riding on Ambati Rayudu's 100 and half centuries by Dhoni, Yuvraj Singh and Shikhar Dhawan. Now, Dhoni made a 40 ball 68. In fact, he scored 23 runs in the final over, hitting 2 sixes and 2 fours. However, in reply, a strong performance by England's top order, led by Sam Billings, helped the visitors overhaul the target with the 7 balls to spare and 3 wickets in hand. Now, Billings made 93 runs with Jason Ray, Joss Butler, Liam Dawson and Alex Hales also making valuable contributions, while Kuldeep Yadav bagged 5 wickets. Remember, the 5-match ODI series begins on Sunday in Pune.
That's reverse swept and it's
well, that's it from me and my team in this edition of news. Thanks for watching. Have a great day ahead.